Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Ratchet News. We are back at our special spot, as you can see. We are here doing Ratchet Views, and I have a special guest today, my brother from another mother, Mr. Robert Taylor Twixx, okay? We have a special guest here that is now going to be, I'm claiming it now, right now, he's gonna be our future North Las Vegas mayor. Y'all give it up for Twixx.
Hey.
How you doing, Twixx? How you doing, man?
I'm vainglorious.
Yes, you know, Twixx is T.I. with the words, honey. You know what I'm saying? I learn something new every day. Okay, now me and Twixx, I call him Twixx. Actually, what was your name back in the day when we were growing up?
So, we got the cat's out the bag now. So my old name used to be Trey Ball.
Trey
That was my old name.
Ball.
So before Twixx, I was Trey Ball.
So you like Diddy with the names. You have different names for
Every decade.
Yes, I can see that because you was Twixx. Yes, in 2000, yeah, and then before
I was
that.
Bad Rob first. I was Bad Rob.
When was you Bad Rob?
Before I met you. I was Bad Rob from like 5 to 12. I was Bad Rob.
I was about to say, that had to be a 92, 90 something. Yeah.
BR, Bad Rob. Then from Bad Rob to Trey Ball to Twixx. Then Twixx to Twixx with 2 X's, and now Robert Twixx Taylor. You dig?
Okay, he got a different collar shirt for every name. Just like I got a different wig for mine. So well, let's start it off. So you are born and raised in Las Vegas.
Yes, I'm born and raised in North Las Vegas.
North
Yes.
Las Vegas. Tell us a little bit about your background and your parents.
Got you. So I was born in Regal Estates. That's a neighborhood in North Las Vegas. It's by the garbage dump on Commerce by Cheyenne. My mother and father met in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street.
Okay, my parents are going to Tulsa. Shout out to Tulsa.
Shout out
Going
to Tulsa.
Yes.
So that's where my family's from, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
So you're first generation Las Vegas.
I'm the very first one. So they got married. They met each other in college. Got married, had my brother, then had my sister, and then moved to Las Vegas and had me.
Boom.
That's why I'm so proud of
I'm
Las
first
Vegas.
generation
You are
Las Vegas too. You Tobacco and them, they from Arkansas, you know, you first. Yes. So growing up, who were your musical influences?
Oh man, first it was my brother.
Really?
Yeah, my brother, Prop, rest in peace. He used to rap, breakdance, beatbox. Everything I do, he did. That's why I do it.
So the beatboxing.
The beatboxing.
When you were younger, he inspired that.
I can still dice, okay? Like me and my brother would have random beatbox competitions. Like I would go to the bathroom and he would be in there already, and I know where he'd be like, and I'm like, and we would just do that all the time. So yeah, so my brother first, then my father, because my father was real big with us knowing our history.
Okay.
Like he was a historian, so he would grab records and be like, "Who's this?" Like Stevie Wonder. Which album is this? Where'd he come from? Like my dad was big on that. He would show me Funkadelic and be like,
wow,
where did Funkadelic come from? Okay, there's a band of James Brown. Okay, and who did that?
So you was
my
like
dad
the Shazam before Shazam.
There you go.
Existed.
Yeah, Shazam back in the 80s. So of course, besides that, rappers like LL Cool J, Run DMC, EPMD, Curtis Blow. You know, Big Daddy Kane was one of my favorites.
I'm about to say, you remind me so much of Big Daddy Kane with the swag.
Listen, I think Big Daddy Kane don't get enough roses.
He don't.
You know what I mean? First of all, Jay-Z came up under Big Daddy Kane. Like, people know about the Jazzo, but they didn't know that he literally, if you look it up,
I didn't know that.
Big Daddy Kane will open up, Jay-Z will open up for Big Daddy Kane.
Really?
Yes, he was the opening act for a long time for Big Daddy Kane. That's why Jay-Z is very similar. You know, as in the player rapper with lyrics.
Gentleman, fun swag.
He got that from Big Daddy Kane.
See?
Yep.
You learn something new every day.
He did.
Something new every day. So from there, when you were around what age did you start rapping? When you were like, I want to be a rapper, this is what I want to do.
So I started rapping in 2nd grade. Now, you got to think I'm 43 now, right? So in 2nd grade, that was like around like 84 or something like that, 83. Long story short, there wasn't anybody my age who was rapping. I didn't know anybody my age. So I went to St. Christopher elementary.
Okay.
Right? And I would rap against a guy named Chill. Shout out to Chill. Chill was in 8th grade. I was in 3rd grade. And he's the first person I knew besides my brother who rapped. And I would rap against him every lunch break. And it took me years to find somebody my age. That's when I moved from the States by community college, and I met DBs and JBs and them, the Banks family.
Okay, the Banks family. Shout out to the Banks
Shout out
family.
to the Banks family. And that's when I started rapping with them. And I'm not gonna lie, DBs was, even though I thought I was good, DBs was really good and way better than me. So I learned from being with him because he was better than me.
So while you were rapping, let everybody know, pretty much a lot of people don't know, when we were kids, we actually met because of music.
Yes.
Okay, and you were already with DBs at that time rapping.
I was.
When we seen you rapping the show, we were all rapping in and singing.
Yes. So your mom is the best ever. To me, a lot of people don't give the proper respect. I have to give proper respect to your mother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mrs. Fanny, she was the one. Like, I was rapping before I met y'all, but I'm not gonna lie. With her group, K-Fabs, Kids for a Better Society, and having us perform all the time, you know, that changed my life. That I learned showmanship, you know, and shout out to you too. You always been on the upper echelon of performing.
You know, because she had a switch to me. She had a switch to my backside, and she was like, "Girl, if you don't hit that note, hit it."
It was serious. It was serious though.
You know,
you and Nikki, come on now, y'all singing.
You know,
come on now, people don't even know.
Everything about that time was very magical. A lot of people don't know. Kids for a Better Society was an organization we grew up in, and it really taught us artist development, which a lot of y'all be skipping over now, and y'all don't think it's important. But it teaches you showmanship, consistency, and perseverance.
Yes. Breathing. We would practice breathing and all of that. And it was like, when I joined, we had about like 8 different groups.
Yes.
You know, so, you know, and I loved how she always changed the order. You know, might be first, might be last.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to, they know Neo now, your cousin Schaefer.
Yeah.
He was a rapper. Every time I tell somebody, I'm like, he was rapping.
I know, right? Ain't that the funniest thing?
Like,
everybody don't even understand.
Not only did he rap, he wrote the lyrics for the group.
And he was a good rapper. At that. He was a good rapper. Now, a lot of people do not know that your rap style was kind of like super fast.
Yes.
Like Twister.
Right, you said that, yes.
Right.
I talk fast, as we see.
Yes, but was he your inspiration? Who was your inspiration as far as hip hop in that time?
So Twister, I liked him a lot, but see, Twister's first album, he was the funky tongue twister. So before Adrenaline Rush came out and everybody knew about Twister then, he was the funky tongue twister, and he kind of rapped like the Fooshnickens. So I like the Fooshnickens a lot because they rapped fast.
Okay.
And if you look at, if you listen to Jay-Z's old albums, when he was with Jaz-O, Jay-Z was very Fooshnickenish. That's why when Nas was going against him, he's like, you rap like Fooshnickens. So that's a little history for the hip hop heads, that Fooshnickens is one of the first rap groups that rapped really fast.
See, for me, it was Yolanda introduced me to Tech Nine.
And Tech Nine, but he's still way after the fact.
Was he?
Yeah, Tech Nine is definitely much past.
Way after?
Way after. Look it up. When we're done, you can Google it and see when Tech Nine came out. Shout out to Tech Nine. But the Fooshnickens were out when I was in junior high school.
Okay. I remember the Fooshnicks. Okay. See?
Shaquille O'Neal had a song with them. There we go. I'm here to drop jewels. I'm here for the jewels.
He's here for the jewels. Look, y'all gonna raise me today. Y'all gonna raise me. So, also while you were rapping, you started to step.
Yes. So that was the changing point in my life. I'm not gonna lie. So, Kids for a Better Society that your mom ran, it was about, you know, getting kids with talent, taking them from the hood and showing something positive.
Yes.
And that was great, right? But I still, at that time period, I'm not gonna lie, I was getting on the left side of trying to be hard, trying to gang bang, doing bad things, you know, following other people, right? So in 9th grade, my 9th grade year at Cheyenne High School, I realized it was a turning point. Either I'm gonna continue to do bad this way or go that way.
Yeah.
So the Sigma Beta Club is a high school group that's under Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated.
Okay.
And once me, JB's, Liddell, like 13 of us, once we joined, all of us pretty much gave up the other life. You know, and once we joined, it changed our life because it's hard to do positive things and then do something negative. It's hard to paint somebody's house on the west side and then go rob somebody the next day.
Yeah.
Because once you get the joy of doing something for somebody, that actually fills your heart. So we got into it because Ace of Step and I used to dance, but it ended up turning us all into productive young men in Las Vegas and in North Las Vegas and on the west side. So
yes.
Shout out to Sigma Beta Club, changed my life. I'm a Sigma now because of that. But yes, I used to step.
Yes, and he can still step, y'all. I'm talking about still step. Now, back in the day, I don't even know exactly when it started, but they used to put on step shows.
Yes.
Now, are you, when you become mayor, going to bring the step show back into the community?
You know what? That's something I've been working on already, and I haven't got through yet. But I become mayor, yes, I'm putting that back.
Please.
Because the step shows, for those who don't know Vegas history, during that time period of like 92 to almost 2004, the step show for high schools was bigger than any football game, bigger than any basketball game.
Oh, we couldn't wait.
It was bigger than anything in like grown-ups would come to the step shows who didn't have kids.
Yep.
Adults would come and be like, you know what? I don't have any kids, Twixx, but I'm here to watch you. I'm like, for real?
Yep.
Because that's how big step shows were. So, and it gives kids something positive to look forward to. So yes, you got to think about it. For you to step, your grades had to be past a 2.6 grade GPA.
Yes.
For you to step, you had to stay out of trouble. So automatically, it kept a lot of us out of trouble because we want to step, and we need that again, especially right now.
Yes, yes. All right, you guys, we're gonna take a couple of seconds, give us a little break. We're gonna refill our cups with our magical fluid. We don't know what it is. And we're gonna get back with Mr. Robert Taylor Twixx after this. And now we're back here with Twixx, chopping it up. So let's get into, we are midway through, junior high, high school. And when I met Twixx,
yes,
he's always had that swag. So let's jump into the style, okay? Too bad we ain't got no shoe cam here. But let's talk about the swag. Let's talk about the swag from back in the day, man.
Okay.
You are the only person I know that had shoes to match every shirt, every fit. How many pairs of shoes did you own?
it was a crazy amount of shoes. I'm not gonna say a number.
I know your mama was like, oh.
But I got them from my dad.
Okay.
My dad was a big dresser. And because of that, my sister and my brother were big on dressing. Like my father would literally wake me up to show me his outfit.
Shut up.
No joke. He'd be like, boy, wake up. I wake up and be like, look at this. You see this?
Look how fresh I am.
Look at this. See this suit right here? Let me show you this Italian stitch. That's how my dad was. But he was also a big thrifter. So he loved going to thrift shops and buying suits that was worth $3,000 for 30 bucks.
I just now got into thrifting.
Yeah, I'm a thrifter. This shirt is from a thrift store. This shirt right is from a thrift store.
See?
So to me, like, he showed me the value of $1. That's why, you know, when you start thrifting, you can't look down on anything because you understand the value in anything. It's all about the eye of the person buying.
Now this shirt is, well, I wouldn't say completely that it's thrift. It is vintage.
Thrifty?
Michael Jackson.
Vintage? Okay, there you go.
It is vintage. I got it when he died. And this girl in the store was like, oh my gosh, I like your vintage Michael Jackson. I was like, yes, I'm creating my own vintage. But it's a lot of money though in vintage too.
Oh, it is. It is. My daughter actually resell. So I take my kids to the thrift store. I show them the way, like my dad showed me. And my daughter took really, you know, a hand on that, and she actually resells stuff on the vintage markets and makes money because she knows what to look for.
Generic vintage even makes like, I'm just letting everybody know, if you are into the vintage world, generic vintage right now is super high, like Gucci, fake Gucci,
all that.
Fake Louis, all that stuff from the 80s. If you can get your hands on that stuff, that's where it is.
It is.
Okay, so what is your favorite style? What was your favorite style then, and what's your favorite brand now?
My favorite style back then was, you know, I'm big into hip hop, so whatever pretty much the style was then, but I always put my twist to it. So, like in the Big Teddy Kent era, the high top fade, you know, a rayon shirt. Shout out to rayon shirts. That went out of style, but rayon shirts was up. And then when time progressed, I progressed with the time, but I always feel like I had to have my trademark, so I have to match. Like I'm big with matching. Like you got to coordinate.
coordinate.
You know, so
But you in the Reeboks.
every color.
Every color.
color.
Colors that I didn't even know was colors.
Every.
He had I'm talking about if he had on the dark green, I'm talking about the forest dark green shirt with the shoes was dark green
It had
too.
to match.
I'm talking about everything had to match.
And you know what? So my brand now is Fila. And I'm gonna tell you why. See, right now Fila's back on.
Yeah.
But I was trying to explain to my son, Israel, my oldest son, who's 18 now. At the time, he was in like 9th grade, and he wants some Jordans. He's like, Dad, I gotta have these. And I explained to him, son, you don't have to have anything. I said, I got best dressed 6th, 7th, 8th grade, and my senior year. And I didn't wear Jordans because what I wore. And I went to a thrift store and everything. And I said, the reason I even said that on this interview, because I want people to know, it's okay to thrift shop.
Absolutely.
You can have diamonds on, nice car, and all that stuff, but know the value. You make the clothes don't make you.
Yes.
So with that being said, about 4 years ago, Fila wasn't back yet on the map.
No.
So I found some in Sears for like $29. I came home and I showed my son. I said, you see these, son? He's like, what's that? I said, these are Fila's. He's like, man, they look cheap. I said, son, back in the day, these were the shoe. I said,
funny.
I'm gonna wear these and I'm gonna buy every pair I can find to show you I can be cool in whatever I want to be in. Not because I'm me, but because I believe in me.
Yep.
And you should believe in you. You don't have to wear Jordans to be cool. And sure enough, I bought all the Filas. I made that song, Fila Gang, off of Gucci Gang, the remix. You know what I mean?
Feel a game, feel a game, feel a game.
And then it started blowing up. And then I got so many parents inbox me, thank you for making that song, because I showed my son that song and he thought Filas were cool. And I was able to buy him 3 pair of Filas versus buying him 1 pair of Jordans.
See, and that's another thing. People got to learn about that because I know everybody like to be updated on the fashion, but you have to really be the art yourself.
Yes.
You have to learn that whatever you put on, you are the art. And we are both alpha weirdos. We always
I'm a weirdo for
dressed
sure.
our own way, had our own swag, always been questioned about that swag from the head to the toe. But as you
You
can
was cutting
see,
your hair short before it got
I
became
was,
trend.
you know,
You've been doing that.
I've been wearing my hair nappy and happy for a long time. And you know, it's funny because people thought I was crazy. They thought I was on drugs. And they was like, why do you comb your hair? And I'm like, for what? You know, this is how God made me. This is
Right.
my swag. And what the kids do now.
That's what they do.
They don't even comb their hair.
And
They
here-
do this.
and here's the thing. This is what I don't like. I don't like the negative connotations they put on so-called nappy. You know what a so-called nap is? I'm going to tell you. A nap is a super curl.
Yep.
That's what it is. It's the curliest curl you could ever have. That's why anybody with so-called naps could have waves. All you gotta do is just brush it. All you gotta do is just brush it.
See?
So with that being said, I feel like as in black people, once we realize that this is great, what we have,
Yes.
you'll feel differently.
Yes.
Once you say, oh, your hair's nappy, I'm in the barbershop, when I hear mothers say that about the son, can you cut them naps off, Robert? I can't stand them naps. I see the son's face. I'm like, no, this is king hair.
It is.
This is, you can't duplicate this.
You
See,
know
I
what?
could put a relaxer on anything to be like something else. You cannot duplicate this.
See, you
Understand you're special.
making me think of artwork wise because you know with even the Caesars and certain hairstyles that are related to our history, doing a split screen and having it in the barbershop artwork from back then with the now so people can see the correlation between
Right.
our people, because of course we are both from Las Vegas.
Yes.
Because of Kids for a Better Society, I felt like that kind of kicked us into our entrepreneurial aspect
True.
of ourselves. So I know while we're talking about fashion, what made you pick up the clippers and get into being a barber and then into an owner of barbershops?
Thank you. So, my mother, shout out to my mom, and she had the great idea telling me that she could buy clippers and cut my hair like the barbers. You know, as kids, we believe our mom, because especially black mothers, we just feel they superheroes.
I think my son missed the bus on that. 'Cause
Yes.
he always tried to check me.
So my mom told me she can cut my hair. She always said the same story. She went to Kmart and bought some $12 clippers and gave me a $2 haircut.
I'm about to say, you let your mama cut your
She
hair.
messed my hair, and that's when I had the Gumby. 6th grade, I had the Gumby then.
And she messed the Gumby
She messed
up?
my Gumby up. When I saw it, I said, I can't go to school like this. So I grabbed the clippers and I tried to fix it. So I didn't make it great, but I made it better.
Okay.
And I literally cut my hair my entire 6th grade year. So
Shut
by the
up.
time 7th grade came, I started cutting my friends. By the time 8th grade came, when I met you, it was a business. I was a bootleg barber. And I had literally
That is so
grown
amazing.
men coming to my house paying for haircuts, and I'm in 8th grade. I can't imagine me as a grown man allowing an 8th grader to cut my hair, but I was cutting grown men, pulling up in BMWs and, you know what I mean, Porsches, to get their haircut in my house in North Las Vegas.
That is 8th grade.
8th grade.
8th grade. Atreyu.
6th grade, technically, but 8th grade, it was.
You're gonna be cutting hair. You're gonna be doing something. See, and this is what I try to tell people. Because of Kids for a Better Society, I feel like that gave us the permission to brand ourselves.
Yes.
Understand, you can be an entrepreneur at a very young age. We were 10, 11, 12, selling cassette tapes,
Yes.
selling T-shirts,
Autographs.
autographing. Like we was, if Instagram was popping in.
Man, think about this. And I know sometimes I feel like because it's your mom, you guys don't say. I'm going to say it. Like, my first talent show, I was in 2nd grade, right? And I won. That's what sparked me to be on
Okay.
stage. But once I got with your mom and got with y'all to perform all the time, to hone my skills, man, she changed everything. And Pops, because Pops allowed it and he was helping. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So we honed all our skills doing that. And all of us, Neo wouldn't be where he's at right now. I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. You wouldn't.
At all.
We all come from that. Tebecca's managing skills, all that. Your brother, come on now.
All of it.
All of that. So
I think it, like you're saying, it's important. Like I tell everyone, I teach artist development, so I try to tell parents it's very important to nurture that entrepreneurial chase your passion.
Yes.
And take your personality and make it work for you. Always believe in yourself.
yes.
You know, my son believes in himself so much it makes me nervous.
That's good. I'm not mad at him.
really nervous. So I'm trying to go back in time because I remember the rapping, the stepping. Where did you find time to get your license to be a barber?
So great question. So I thought I was
You didn't go
gonna
to
be-
college, right?
No, I did after I got my barber license.
Okay, tell me the time.
Got you. So I thought I was gonna be a platinum rapper. 'Cause I got signed to Empire Records in 8th grade also.
What?
So yeah, I was signed to Empire Records. I was writing for adults in 8th grade. Yes. Mighty Plump / Empire Records. Shout out to Freddie Empire. So I was signed. He had a $500,000 studio back in the day. So matter of fact, that's where I got my mink coats from. I started wearing mink coats.
I'm about to say you
He
was
was.
like
I don't know if
wearing
that's for
mink-
time, but
Yeah, but no, you was wearing mink coats when we was.
yeah, I've been wearing mink coats. I got mink coats from Freddie Empire. He was the first person I saw to have mink coats and diamonds everywhere. And I'm like, every time he came in the room, he was like, ha. And he'd be like, what up, Trey Ball? I'll be back. I'm like, man, I gotta be like that one day. So that's where I got the mink coats from, is from Freddie Empire.
I
So
remember them freaking mink
yeah,
coats.
I still got them.
I can't remember.
I still got 'em. I know it's never cold enough in Vegas, but when it gets kind of cold, I'll throw
But
them
you know,
mink
you
coats
got
on.
you got to be uppity, like my auntie said. My auntie, now shout out to my auntie. She got her mink coats in a freezer.
Yes.
Because that keeps them.
Yeah, I've heard.
And I was like,
yeah, I built it in my house.
Yeah,
my mink coats in the freezer in my house.
I didn't even know that even existed.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
you
that,
find
so they
out
won't get
stuff.
dry rotted. You gotta keep them. I got a freezer in my closet, and I keep my minks in so they won't dry rot.
Okay,
Yeah, shout out to your auntie.
Peter, don't hate on us,
It's
Peter.
all
We
right. Don't hate
trying
on
to.
us,
We
Peter.
don't know. We throw back. We throw back.
Throwbacks
with
back in the
minks.
day.
We throw back with the minks. Okay, so how did you go from
Getting cutting hair.
cutting hair to being an owner though?
Got you. So I had to leave Las Vegas to go to barber school
And where'd you go?
to Long Beach, California.
Okay.
See, at the time, anybody my age who got their license around,
They didn't have a school out here.
there wasn't no schools out here, so we had to leave. So me and Shorty, shout out to Shorty, we went to Long Beach, and then we cut hair out there. Now, we was out there longer than we were supposed to be because we had to wait till financial aid kicked in.
Okay.
So while we were out there, we was doing professional dancing, like background dancers, and all in Hollywood. So
I
we're
didn't even know
all
that.
through Hollywood. We was on the Gregory Hines show. We was the official, what do you call them, extras. We
Shut
were
up.
official extras on the Gregory Hines show. We was doing a lot out there in California. And that actually added to my showmanship. So when I came back to Vegas, I felt like I had an edge because I literally was in Hollywood.
That's how it go
Literally.
though. That's how we all left.
know?
We all left around that time. Because if people don't understand and people don't know, it's really hard, especially in the time we came up to try to make it here
Definitely.
in Vegas and get a deal because everybody came here for fun.
Right.
They didn't come here to recruit
Not at all.
and find the next
It's
talent.
Disneyland for the grown-ups. Nobody came to Disneyland to do business.
So let's talk about when you were in Long Beach. You were there for how long?
I was in Long Beach for a year and a half. I had to
Okay.
do 1,500 hours of cutting hair. But I went, part-time at first, waiting for my grant to kick in.
But
so
you kind of was ahead of your time, though, with the 1,500 hours because people was pulling up.
True, and they had me the first chair. I was the first chair in barber school, so
of course.
I cut a lot of heads in barber school. But luckily, I got that exposure. I got more confidence, more training. So when I got back, I got a job at Creative Cuts, which is now Hamburger Huts. For those who know Las Vegas, Hamburger Huts, legendary in North Las Vegas.
Cross streets.
So Hamburger Huts in Cheyenne by Community College.
Okay,
The
boom.
best chicken fingers in Las Vegas. That's
Oh,
our
they
staple,
do.
right? But that was a barbershop first.
What?
Hamburger Hut was a barbershop called Creative Cuts. And that's where Trey, Zeke, Tito, Johnny, they all worked there.
Okay.
Bark, So
Okay.
when they hired me there, we was there for about a year. And that's when Jose changed it from a barbershop to Hamburger Hut. And then Trey and the whole group, we ended up getting a shop on Lake Mead called House of Fades.
That's where I made the correlation. Now, what year was that around? Because I know I was coming back, I think, at that time from London back and
Around
forth.
2000.
Yeah.
So I had my daughter 2001.
Okay,
So we
yes,
moved
that's
House
when
of
I got
Fades around 2000. Yep.
So that was the first barbershop that was ran pretty much to me. I felt like when I used to come to your barbershop, it was ran by the barbers. Like it was a camaraderie with all of y'all that was.
Right. And that's what happened. So House of Fades wasn't mine, that was theirs. So House of Fades ended up moving to the west side, and that's when I opened up Fatal Mall Barbershop.
And I'm about to say.
And I was right down the street, so that's why.
Okay.
So once they moved to the west side, I said, well, this is a great location. I'm from North Las Vegas. I might as well be right next to Bozy, because Bozy's studio was right there. And
yes.
that's when I opened up.
Shout out to Bozy.
Shout out to Bozy. So 2001.
There's a
There's a squad.
storm. There's
There's
a
a
storm.
squad.
There's a squad.
There's a
Yes.
squad.
Shout out to
Yep.
Bozy.
Yep.
A lot of people don't know Bozy was one of the very, very first producers, AKA Michael Jackson impersonators. He
Right.
did a fantastic job
Yes,
with his
yes.
sister Sandy Rose.
Yes.
And their cousin.
Their cousin, yep.
Yes, they had a group. They used to kill us. What was that? The T's?
The T's. Yep.
Yes,
The
and they're
'cause
that Richard
Thompson,
T.
Richard T.
Yes, and
They
they were.
performed at the SWAT meet
Yep.
all the time.
And then Sweeter Than Sugar, shout out to them.
Yep.
Was then,
Before they were 702.
before they was 702.
I met them when we was together.
Yeah, we were all a different force to be reckoned with. Now back to the barbers, and you started Fade 'em All.
Fade 'em All, yeah.
All right.
So started Fade 'em All. I was at the age of 23 when I opened up Fade 'em All Barbershop.
So you were entrepreneur at 23.
A legit one, finally.
Yes, I'm
With the
talking about
license.
licensed
Yes.
up.
Yes, licensed up. Yep.
Wow.
So that shop ended up doing really good. Shout out to all the barbers who started with me there. I ended up getting the building next to me and made it 9 chairs. Then after that, I ended up getting For Divas Only right in the front with Cindy Rose.
And my
Tanisha-
sister.
And your sister, Tebecca
Yeah.
King. Yep. And the nail shop.
Yep.
And then I got Fade 'em All 3, then Fade 'em All University and PhD Salon.
Fade 'em All
Cent-
Universities by UNLV.
Yep.
Yep.
And then I got Fade 'em All Centennial in Centennial area.
That's amazing.
And now I have Fade 'em All Summerlin with Ivory Salon, my boy Pat.
That is amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
From a boy, from a boy cutting his hair
In the house.
from your mama. Shout
My
out
mama
to you.
messing my hair up.
Shout out to your
that bad
mama.
haircut.
Yes.
Shout out to that bad haircut.
You see, it inspired
Right.
it inspired a G right there.
Lemonade.
So also, I know coming up to speed, photography.
Yes. So I ended up opening. So I do clubs. I'm a promoter.
Yes.
I forgot that whole chapter of my life. So
Yes, I'm about to say one of the first parties
let's
I
start from
was
that.
allowed
Right.
to go to. My mama said, "Oh, he throwing that, well, Trey Ball throwing that party. You could go to Trey Ball party. You can't go nowhere else because she trusted you."
Right.
So you also shout out to your mama even allowing you to throw those parties.
Yes.
As a teenager,
Yes.
you were throwing the biggest
Thank you.
parties of our time.
Yeah.
No, I don't think, Tyler, you gotta turn. I don't think people understand. Now, you know, when kids are popular and they throw house parties and it's packed, Twixx at that time was Trey Ball.
Yeah.
Threw the biggest parties. We talk about everybody in Las Vegas came to this man party.
No social media, all word of mouth.
All word of mouth.
But you know what? It started in 4th grade. So I started rapping in 2nd grade, right? I started cutting hair in 6th grade. I started doing parties in 4th grade.
My son needs to do more.
Yeah. My teacher paid me to be the DJ at C.C. Cox Elementary. So I was the DJ my 4th and 5th grade year at C.C. Cox Elementary.
Shut up.
Right. And then when I went to J.D. Smith, I asked the principal, can I DJ? He's like, you're a kid. I'm like, well, I've been DJing for 2 years.
Come on.
I felt that, you know, he was like, no, we have a professional DJ. I'm like, what? So I came home, I was all bummed out, asked my mom and dad, I said, can I throw parties here? It's like, huh? I said, they won't let me DJ at J.D. Smith, and I got 2 years under my belt. They said, yeah. So that's when I started throwing parties at my house. Shout out to DJ Finesse, who's a big DJ now on the radio station. DJ Finesse was my first DJ.
He's over at 97,
Yes.
right? Okay.
He was my first DJ, and I was his first promoter. So I stopped DJing and switched the jobs to where I was a promoter, and he DJ'd because his father was a DJ 88.1. So he already had the equipment. So I'm in 8th grade, he might be in 10th grade, and we're doing big parties at the house. You know, so by the time you came along, I was doing parties.
You was the man. you was the man.
I just wanted to make smiles. That's
So
all.
while you had the barbershop, you were throwing parties. You still throwing parties. One of my favorite events that you throw to this day, and I have the time of my life there, is the adult prom.
Yes, I love that.
I love adult prom. So for everyone who doesn't know, Twixx throws events, throws parties, and he throws adult prom for everyone who maybe missed prom.
Yes.
May have been pregnant. Maybe couldn't find no dress.
May have been locked up.
Maybe been locked up. We don't know. You get to go back to this time and you get to do
Yes.
adult prom. Now tell us, where did that manifest from?
So I love challenging myself. And I love having events that people really care about, right?
Okay.
And once I thought about doing the adult prom, I said, you know what? Let me see if this, sounds good to the people. So I'll just put it out there. What do you guys think about that? And so many people on social media shared it. I said, I have to do it. So my very first one was at the Hard Rock with Brady Wells and the BDK. That was great. And my second one was at the Eclipse Theater.
Yes, I went to that one. I went to both of them.
Really nice. So now
I really like that one.
Thank you. And I'm working on the third one now. I love how people get emotional. I love that. I've had like couples actually cry because they never had a time to actually celebrate their life like that. And some, like you said, some were pregnant in high school, some were locked up, some didn't want to go back then, but now want to relive that. So I give you the whole shebang. The picture booth, everything.
I love it. And you could drink alcohol at this prom.
This is true.
Instead of trying to hide it.
Y'all was drinking alcohol when y'all was...
I wasn't. I was good. I don't know what this man is talking about, Mama. I don't know what he is talking about. I was a good child. He already know. He is lying to you. I don't know what this man... Let me get back to my notes.
There you go, yeah.
I don't know what this man is talking about. So, also... If you didn't know, you made the 40 under 40.
Yes.
Tell everybody what that's about in Vegas.
So 40 under 40 is actually an award given by the Review Journal when they choose the 40 most influential people in Las Vegas under the age of 40.
And it's featured in Las Vegas Weekly, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's featured in Las Vegas Weekly also. And like I said, they only pick 40 people. It only happens once a year. So with that being said, it was a really big experience to be a part of that. Very humbling and very, I'm not gonna lie, I loved it because, I don't do anything to get recognized.
Yeah.
But it is good to get recognized, especially when it's, out of your box, out of your square. And that's something out of my square right there.
A lot of people don't understand even the history with blacks in Las Vegas and being a part of something that is legendary like that.
Right. And my sister, she got it before she was 40. So for my sister to get it first and then for me to get it, to me, that's just putting equity in our name. And I try to teach my nephews, my kids, everybody, listen, you're a Taylor. We're building equity as we speak. So to me, that puts more equity towards it to give them a better life so their children can do better.
All right. We're going to take a quick break real quick, and we're going to come back with my brother, Robert. All right, all right, all right. Welcome back. We are here with my friend, Robert, and we are talking about him and running for mayor of North Las Vegas right now. So tell me in your timeline, where did the idea of you becoming mayor pop in?
So about 10 years ago,
10 years.
Yep, a few politicians, asked my help, as in using my barbershops for locations to hold events or whatnot.
So why did they want barbershops? What's the significance?
Because barbershop, if you want to find the black man, that's where we're at. Now you can find any man there because fades are worldwide now.
Yes.
So to find any man of any background is the barbershop now, but back then, at least 10 years ago for sure, to get the black man out, go to the barbershop, get the information. So
because the black vote is important right now.
Very important, very important. And now, it's sometimes you can find more men in the barbershop than church, So that's why the barbershop is a big place for the community and a big place where a lot of men can speak their mind. So with that being said, a lot of politicians who's trying to be in the political realm or already use the barbershop. So I've helped a few out. And I said, you know what? I've been about the community. Ever since high school, and I switched to be a Sigma Beta Club,
yes,
I'm about the community. So I said, you know what? Let me take the leading position. And I feel like there's a big void in the city of North Las Vegas. Because growing up, all the high schools I've been to and junior high schools, elementaries, nobody has came to speak to us. And for my past 2 decades, I've been in almost every high school in North Las Vegas, elementary, junior high school, speaking to the kids. And I'm like, you know what? Let me take this further. Because all these years it's been out of my pocket, not for a nonprofit, not for my fraternity, not for a church, from my pockets, giving back to the community, right? So I said, you know what? Let me run for office. Let me be in a position where I can show people, here's money for this, here's guidance for this, here's the information for this.
So what is the difference, and also what are your goals as the mayor of North Las Vegas?
So my first goal is changing the negative narrative and the negative connotation of North Las Vegas. People always speak illy, like, ooh, North Las Vegas, well, I can't move over
honey,
there.
Please, I hit the freeway going that way. My Waves app be like, warning, going into North Las Vegas.
It's crazy how they, so.
It's weird, the vibe that goes with it.
Because people keep doing that, but people don't check the numbers out. You can look into the numbers and see when it comes to homicides versus Vegas in North Las Vegas. Oh, I didn't know it was like that in Las Vegas versus North Las Vegas. I feel people get a negative connotation because there are more brown people in North Las Vegas. There are more black people in North Las Vegas. It's 33% Hispanic, 21% black. So it's double the national number in North Las Vegas. So I think because of that, people automatically give it that less than so-called.
What are the parameters though? Because a lot of people think Las Vegas has one mayor. They don't even know Henderson is different. They don't know Las Vegas is
Boulder
different.
City.
They don't even know. So what are the parameters? So if people want to vote and find you, where do they even know to go?
So let me help you out first for those who don't know. I have a lot of locals who don't know this. If you want to know where you're at, if you look at the actual street signs, the street signs in North Las Vegas are blue. And not the main streets, just the neighborhood street signs, they're blue. When you're in the city, they're green. When you're in Henderson, they're brown. So that's how you know where you're at, first of all. But also, right? People didn't know this, right? So also...
I'm scanning my GPS like, oh...
right? So North Las Vegas is kind of like, it's like a puzzle piece. It's not straight lines. So pretty much know if you're going west, once you pass Rancho, you're out of North Las Vegas. If you're going south, if you pass Bonanza, you're out of North Las Vegas. If you're going east, if you pass Pecos, you're out of North Las Vegas. As long as you keep going north, it's all the way north until you hit the mountains. But you gotta look on the map because it zigzags.
Yeah, it's Centennial, Aliante.
So Aliante is North Las Vegas, but Centennial isn't.
Like farm.
Right, but
that's not.
That's the Decatur and Rancho cutoffs.
Okay.
So you have to look at your map to realize, like, okay, am I still here? But if you live there, you know, because your mail will say the city of North Las Vegas. Your utility bill will be different for your water bill.
It's like that. I moved from the west. I moved then behind the wind. It was crazy. We were 89109 and then they changed it to 89106. Just off like paradise. We're going
Right.
to change you guys
Right.
because we don't want you guys to be associated with the casinos.
Right.
You know, a lot of people don't know that the reason why I'm so honored to interview Robert right now is because people don't know the historic value of Black Las Vegas people. Now, when you first came to Vegas, it was so small, all the Black people had to move to the West Side.
Right.
That's all that we had.
Right.
North didn't even exist.
Right, pretty much. And you know, after the West Side was built, like for those who don't know, so there was buses that literally picked up Black people from Louisiana and brought them out here to build the Hoover Dam.
Shut the front.
Yes, that's why even though Louisiana, you know, like how many people in Vegas from Louisiana? Because it started back in the day.
So that's how we got all the Tallulah.
Yes, that's where the Tallulah came from.
Alexandria.
Right. Everybody said
Yeah.
Tallulah's so small, but some people from Las Vegas because Black people helped build the Hoover Dam. And after that was done, it was like, where they got to go?
There's no history at all of that.
Right. That's why we're talking about it right now. That's why we're talking about it right now. So then after it was built, it's like, okay, you guys have to go to the west side of Las Vegas. The west side of Las Vegas didn't have proper running water, a lot of things that weren't properly running, and they sent them there. That's why the west side of Las Vegas is historical. And that's why I give all the props to west side of Las Vegas, but I'm running for mayor of North Las Vegas because that's where I'm from, and there's not one historical neighborhood in the city of North Las Vegas.
They tried to, they have revitalized, and now this is no disrespect, but also why I should run for mayor of Las Vegas.
There you go.
Okay, so we can understand. I seen they tried to refurbish it up to the west side because they're, shout out to Tony, rest in peace to Tony of Zappos.
Yes,
he revitalized downtown.
Town.
He really put a lot of money, a lot of focus into it.
Yes, he did.
I see they tried to parlay it into Vegas. How, as the mayor, are you gonna parlay that into North Las Vegas?
So one, I'm big on starting from the root. First of all, we need more home ownership.
Yes.
You know, I want to make sure I'm trying to put together a thing called Section Great to take people from Section 8 to home ownership to show them.
I'm not only a client. Look, Tyler, turn the camera back. I'm not only a client. Okay, I'm trying to go from Section 8 to living great.
There you go.
Okay, because I'm real here on Ratchet News, and what a lot of people don't understand is that I'm a product of Section 8 to living great. So the possibility is there.
Yes.
Also, I think home ownership, a lot of people don't know because right now, let's talk about the numbers. The market in Las Vegas is starting to go up.
Yes,
we have
it
a
is.
lot of buyers that are from other cities,
Yes, it is.
states that are coming here trying to put those California numbers
Yes, it is happening.
on us, and we not paying the people to work those numbers.
Right.
Y'all see 3 bedrooms, y'all think 3,000.
Right.
It's unrealistic.
Watch this real quick. And this is a good example how if you don't pay attention, you'll pay admission. If you bought your house 10 years ago, let's say for $190,000,
Okay.
right? Your mortgage would be, if you had normal credit, would be about $1,300 a month. That's with insurance,
Okay.
right? So imagine 10 years ago, if I told you your mortgage will stay the same for 30 years. And you're like, oh, wow. Then imagine that same person who's renting that house, right? Giving them $1,300 a month at first, the next year $1,400. Now that
in
person
10
renting that same
years.
house next door, now they're paying $2,200 a month.
I said 17.
Look of the difference of your life because you didn't choose to buy. Now you're paying the person who owns the house. At the end of the day, you're gonna have to pay to live anyway. We as Black people, this in 50 years, we're at our least in home ownership. In 50 years. So that
Yeah.
means 51 years ago, Black people own more houses than now.
I learned about farming recently because I was watching, and one of my friends from high school, she's in the show Queen Sugar. And so, shout out to Regina. Okay, so on the real, I learned about Black farming and how a lot of our land was taken from us.
Yes.
We don't even own that. We don't even know where to start with home ownership.
And that's why it's so important.
So
Like,
you're doing the whole thing with ownership, entrepreneurs and starting their business out there.
Yes.
Because I do want to talk to you about health
yes,
and wellness.
it's very important also. In North Las Vegas, you know, especially where I live at, I have to drive super far one way or super far the other way, past 2 zip codes to get healthy food. To me, it should be incentives for people who want to open up healthy places to eat in North Las Vegas. Me as mayor, I will make sure there's money set aside. Okay, do you qualify for this? Can you do this? Okay, you have a business plan? Here you go. We're going to help you start this healthy business because health is wealth. You know, you are what you eat, you are what you see, you are what you're around. And all of this helps out the community. Once you get more places that are like people who have money, people who have money, when they look at places, they look at the schooling, they look at what's around it and everything else. Those things make your equity go up. Okay? That's when they determine to move there.
Okay.
You need somebody who's a mayor who wants the goodness for everybody, who wants good for everybody, who wants a progressiveness for everybody. Not just black people, people in the city of North Las Vegas. That's what I'm running for.
See, that's why you my ninja. So, I know. Look now. So I also heard through a little birdie
Uh-oh, they be talking.
that you are on shout out to 88.1, are on the Wake Up Squad, right?
Yeah, so I was on the Wake Up Squad for a year, and then I got promoted to the Afternoon Fix with AMBZ and DJ Remix.
All right.
From 3 to 6. But here's the good, sad news. The good, sad news is they know that I'm running for mayor.
Yes.
So pretty soon I have to stop doing that because it'll be a conflict of interest of me being on the radio station that's sponsored by the EOB while I'm running. So pretty soon I have to give that up for now, but I'll be on there doing interviews like this here. So
Okay,
yes.
cool. I'm about to say,
Shout out to Craig
please,
Knight.
yes, please don't go away, because you know when I hear you in the mornings, I'm excited because you know 88 was such a staple
Yes.
to our
Yes.
upbringing. Shout out to 88 because y'all were the first ones to ever play our song
Facts.
on the radio. Y'all also were the first ones to host a performance competition.
And talent show.
Yes.
Me and Shorty won twice. Not bragging, I'm just saying.
Yeah, we came
I'm just,
in.
for anybody in here. I'm just,
We came in almost. We
Me and
came
Shorty
in.
won
You see
twice.
what I'm saying? Because he threw the party.
I'm just saying.
See, Mama, if you would have let me throw the party, we would have probably beat. No, we wouldn't. We wouldn't have did that. There's no way we could have beat you at all. So going into our last little bit, please look into the camera. Tell everyone where they can find you on Instagram, on Facebook. Let them know where they could pick up your cars and help promote you because we're here to help.
Thank you. So you can reach me on Instagram under Vegas Twixx. That's with 2 X's, Vegas Twixx. But please go to my mayor page on Instagram. It's Robert Taylor 4 NLV Mayor. That's Robert Taylor 4 NLV Mayor. On Facebook, I'm under Robert Twixx Taylor, and my other page is under Robert Taylor as Twixx. So if you type in Robert Taylor Twixx, it'll take you. If you go to Google, type in Robert Taylor Las Vegas or Robert Taylor Twixx, it'll pop up. Please support, and I'm here for the community. I'm here, you know, that's what I'm here about.
Yes. Y'all give it up for Robert Taylor Twixx. It's been
you, sis.
such an honor to interview you and really dig deep into who you are, into the meat
Thank you.
of your sandwich. And I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
Please always come back. Thank you for coming to Ratchet Views, the interview side of Ratchet
You say
Views.
it's ratchet, but this is so nice.
Well,
This is
you
so
know,
professional. I don't even,
you know.
Ratchet News, I was going to expect all kinds of shit. Shoot a pit bull.
Well, you know,
maybe, and somebody.
we uppity with this new set. We got Yorkies, and we let the pit bulls stay in the backyard with the chickens and the roosters.
Well, I appreciate it.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna be back for a part 2 also.
Oh, I can't wait for you to be back for a part 2 once you win. We gonna throw a party.
There you go.
We gonna talk it and speak it
That's
into
right.
existence
That's
because honestly, a lot of people they've been telling me, you need to get on Ratchet News. You need to do this because we like you because you're organic. We know you're not paid to be there and to be on people's side. And I love the aspect of, first of all, you being that I know of the first person of color to run for North Las Vegas and even bring the attention to it. I'm not into politics. I am, but you know, it's a lot of layman's terms that people don't understand. Even how to vote, even how to run for this position, even that they're capable.
And let me say this too. And I see this all the time in my barbershop because I'm constantly talking people into voting who don't want to vote. And I explain to them why, the ramifications of not voting when it comes to national voting and locally. There's no president, governor, mayor, alderman, commissioner who could change your life. But every single one of those people need to give you the information in that direction where you can change your life. And to me, that's the problem. There's a void. They're not putting out the information. Like, it shouldn't be that I only know this information because my sister owns a real estate company, so she's telling me about certain rules if I buy a house to get incentives. It should be on TV all the time. These things should be out there. So me, as mayor, I want to make sure everybody knows it's equal for everybody. This information's out here. There are programs to where if you do this, we have funding for you. We need programs that help you to be an entrepreneur. I want a thing called Too Legit, to where we take people who've been under the table doing business, all the detail companies, people selling oranges on the corner. Let me show you, if you want to go legit, how you can actually change your life going legit. You know, a lot of us, a lot of black people, a lot of brown people missed out on the PPP money.
Yeah,
because we did not want, we wasn't legit. And guess what? We ended up really doing bad because we couldn't prove it, because we were trying to hide from Uncle Sam. Let me get you out the light and show you how you can make money and how you could have your business go further, you know, being legit. That's what I'm about. I love
it because, you know, at the end of the day, I try to tell everyone, listen, you are not ever, ever too late to start your greatness. And what I loved about this segment is that you said 10 years ago, I thought of being mayor. It wasn't right in that timing. It was in your own timing, in your own flexibility. I love what you do for the community. I think it's so dope. You guys give it up for Robert Taylor, our future mayor of North Las Vegas. All right?
Thank you. I appreciate it. I love it. I love this place.
I love it. You are home, brother.
Thank you.
Welcome home. All right, you guys. We are going to round and ride and probably take some more shots because we're Ratchet News and we're ending our segment. If you guys want to follow Robert Taylor Twixx, our future, we're going to say that again, future mayor.
How about a beatbox while you do that? Go ahead.
Yo, check it. We here with Robert Taylor Twixx, mayor, gonna get it. Go vote. That's what we doing on this commercial break. Holla, peace.